All right, if you're starting an LLC, you're going to hit this fork in the road almost immediately. Virtual address versus registered agent. It kind of sound the same, right? But picking the wrong one isn't just a small paperwork mistake. It can have some seriously painful legal and financial consequences for your business.
And no, this isn't just about where you get your mail. Not even close. We're talking about legal compliance, about keeping your personal privacy safe, and about whether the state even sees your company as legit. Getting this right from the jump is absolutely critical.
Okay, let's get straight to the point. If you remember one thing, make it this. A registered agent is a non-negotiable legal requirement for your LLC. You have to have one. A virtual address, on the other hand, is an optional business tool you choose to use for privacy and professionalism. They are not, and I repeat, not interchangeable. First up, let's talk about the legal heavyweight, the registered agent. The best way to think about this is as your company's official legal shield. It's the designated point of contact for the government or the court system. Its entire reason for being is to keep you compliant with the law. Now, what you see here is the official definition, and there's a key phrase you need to know: service of process. That's just a formal way of saying getting sued. This is a state-mandated role, and it exists for one big reason: to make sure there's always a reliable, physical way for the courts to hand your business a lawsuit or any other critical legal document.
And the rules for this role are super strict. As our sources make clear, it must be a physical street address in your state. No P.O. boxes, no mail forwarding spots. And here's the real kicker. Someone has to physically be at that address during business hours, ready to sign for whatever comes. This isn't just a mailbox, it's a person at a place waiting for the law to come knocking.
Before we break down the exact differences between a virtual address and a registered agent, let's talk about your legal foundation and privacy. You absolutely cannot protect your personal assets or keep your home address off public records if you confuse these two services. Most new LLC owners try to use a basic virtual address for their state legal correspondence, and that is exactly why they miss critical lawsuit notices, get hit with default judgments, and lose their business. Your business legally needs a reliable, state-recognized point of contact for official documents. That's where Northwest Registered Agent comes in. Northwest is the absolute best registered agent service in the industry. Unlike standard virtual mailboxes that just forward marketing junk, Northwest provides you with a physical, legally compliant address in your state specifically to receive service of process and official state mail. Their privacy by default policy means they use their address on your public state filings, keeping your personal home address completely hidden and secure. They instantly scan and upload any legal notices to your secure dashboard, so you never miss a deadline. This is non-negotiable to keep your LLC in good standing. Use my link in the description below to get your registered agent set up right with Northwest today and unlock exclusive discounts and perks. Get your privacy and compliance handled first.
Okay, now let's flip the coin and look at the virtual address. If the registered agent is your legal shield, then the virtual address is your public face. This is all about operations, professionalism, and your public image.
So here's the technical term that really matters. A virtual address is provided by what the U.S. Postal Service calls a Commercial Mail Receiving Agency, or a CMRA. It's really just a fancy term for a professional mail handling service. It gives you a real street address to use, but at its core, it's a service for scanning and forwarding your mail.
The number one benefit here, keeping your home address private and out of public databases. This is the address you put on your website, on your business cards, and even use to open a business bank account. It handles all your day-to-day mail, the invoices, the checks, the letters from customers. It's purely for convenience and privacy, not for legal compliance.
So, what happens when people get these two confused? Well, the consequences aren't just some vague threat. Using these addresses for the wrong purpose can lead to some truly devastating legal and financial problems.
Let's look at a case study, straight from a report by Alliance Virtual Offices. You've got a small e-commerce startup, and they did what so many people do. They listed their new virtual address as their official registered agent with the state.
And as you can probably guess, eventually a lawsuit was filed against them. The papers were sent to that virtual address, but remember the rules we talked about? A registered agent has to have a real person there to physically accept the documents. At a virtual address, there's nobody authorized to do that. The legal notice was basically undeliverable. And here's where it becomes a complete catastrophe. Because they never officially received the lawsuit, they never showed up in court to defend themselves, so the judge moved forward without them and entered a default judgment. That means they lost the case automatically without ever knowing it was happening.
All right, here's a different kind of disaster, this time from an analysis by LLC Deals. A photographer gets one of those cheap $9 a month business addresses online for his LLC. He figures it'll make him look more professional when he applies for a small business grant.
The result? His grant application was immediately denied. The reason they gave him was that his LLC was not in good standing with the state. He lost out on all that potential funding because of a simple address mix-up.
So what actually happened behind the scenes? Well, the state's filing systems are pretty smart. They automatically cross-reference addresses with the USPS database of known CMRAs like UPS stores. His cheap address was instantly flagged, which made his official state filing non-compliant and immediately put his business in bad legal standing.
Okay, now that we've seen the very real stakes, let's put these two services side by side. This will make the differences crystal clear.
This table really breaks it all down perfectly. Main function, one is for legal papers, the other is for marketing mail. Legal compliance, it's mandatory for the agent but optional for the virtual address. Address type, the agent must be a real street address, while the virtual address is just a CMRA. And their primary uses are worlds apart, lawsuits versus privacy.
And that means there are some bright red lines you can never, ever cross. Do not use your registered agent's address for customer mail or on your IRS forms. They're not your mailroom. And you should absolutely never use a virtual address as your legal registered agent or for receiving a lawsuit. It's just not legally equipped for that duty.
So after all that, the definitions, the rules, the real-world consequences, what's the definitive answer? Which one should you actually pick for your LLC?
And the verdict, which is unanimous across all our sources, is this. It's not an either-or choice. To be fully compliant and fully private, your LLC actually needs both. They do two totally different but equally essential jobs for your business. And this right here is the optimal two-step setup. Step 1, hire a professional registered agent service. That way you know your legal compliance is handled. Step 2, get a separate virtual address to use for everything the public sees, your website, your marketing, your regular mail. This protects your privacy and gives you a professional image.
So we'll just leave you with this one final thought. Take a hard look at your own business setup and ask yourself, is my company's legal foundation secure, built to handle the law, or is it all resting on a simple mailbox? Because making the right choice here is absolutely fundamental to the future of your business.